Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkarmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing an updated version of my Dark Magicians. Now this is a deck that all of you have kind of been requesting on the comments and telling me that I really needed to update this for the new ban list from February, but I've been trying to wait out to see if we were going to get a ban list, and that's why I haven't been doing many deck profiles. And also, I was trying to get a hold of some Called by the Graves, because that card just does everything that I want it to do for against hand traps, and it makes it where Ash Blossom is not as prevalent as it used to be, which makes me super happy. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this and see what I'm playing. So first off, we are going to be playing 3 copies of Dark Magician. Now, since it's a Dark Magician deck, you have to play 3 copies of Dark Magician. It's kind of like the bread and butter of the deck. You have to have 3 of this in the deck in order for the deck to function. Then we only play 2 copies of Magician of Dark Illusion. Magician of Dark Illusion's effect is that during your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap card, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is really cool. He also counts as Dark Magician while on the field, which is really nice because you can Eye of Timaeus him to get other stuff out. And if you activate a spell or trap card while this card is face up on your field, you can target 1 Dark Magician in your graveyard and special summon it. So it gives you some more revival for your Dark Magicians to kind of bring out some extra stuff. So that Magician of Dark Illusion is really nice. The next card we play is 3 copies of Apprentice Illusion Magician. She's really good. What she does is when you have a card in your hand, you can discard it and then special summon her immediately to the field. And then after you discard the card and she's special summoned, you get to add a Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. She also counts as kind of a hand trap herself because you can discard her or send her from the field to the graveyard to make a dark spellcaster type monster gain 2,000 attack, which is really good. And that's why you've got to play 3 of her. And she's kind of like a cyber dragon of the deck, so really helps. Then we play, let me center these up a little bit more, like that, because we're not playing too many monsters. Then I play 3 copies of Magician's Rod. Magician's Rod is kind of a unique card, because when it's normal summoned, you can add a spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Dark Magician in its text, which is one of the most interesting search cards in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Its other effect is that when this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you contribute a spellcaster type monster to add it back to your hand. So it's like getting another search, which is really nice. And then I play 2 copies of Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Now, you could take out one of these. I'm honestly debating if I want to keep playing my Spellbook engine in here. It's a really good engine, but I kind of want to do something different with the deck. Maybe play some Kaikus like I used to, or come up with some interesting engine. Maybe Wind Witches or something. I don't know. I don't actually own Wind Witches right now, and I'm trying not to proxy stuff that much in this deck, but the Spellbook engine is really good in the deck because it adds some draw power, but it's really good. Like, that's all I can really say. This lets you add a Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand, which is nice, so you can add Knowledge and then send this to the grave and draw 2. So it kind of breaks even, but you waste your normal summon on it. But it does work. But anyways, that is the monsters. Let's get into the spells. And since it is a Dark Magician deck, this is where the majority of your cards are going to come from. I think we're only playing 13 monsters in the deck. It could well be in the Demise range. I'm just not a fan of playing a lot of Demise decks. Counter Fairies is one good example of a good Demise deck, or maybe Volcanics or something like that. So we're going to be playing 1 copy of Illusion Magic. This card lets you tribute any spellcaster monster and add up to 2 copies of Dark Magician from your deck and or graveyard to your hand. It's really nice, but it's really only a good 1 of because it's searchable. I played 2 copies of Dark Magic Attack. Dark Magic Attack, a lot of people played it 1. I like it at 2 because your opponent doesn't expect the second one. And if you've already got an existing Dark Magician on the field, you can activate this and then destroy all spells and trap your opponent controls. If you're playing against Pendulum Magicians, this card is really good because it can just pop their scales and get them out of the way. Yes, they might go off and, you know, I don't know, use their pendulum effects or go astrograph, but, you know, that's not that big of a deal. It happens. And we have ways to prevent that too. So then you play 3 copies of Dark Magician or Dark Magical Circle. This card's kind of like Pot of Duality in a sense, because you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then add either a Dark Magician or a spell trap that specifically lists Dark Magician in its name to your hand. And then its second effect is if a Dark Magician is normal or special summoned to your field, you can, except during the damage step of course, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and banish it, which is really, really good. It's really good against the meta right now, because you activate this, add a card to your hand, and then banish one of their Pendulum Scales, and they're kind of screwed. Or banish their Astrograph so it can't float. That's another really good way to do this. Or you can even do, on your opponent's turn, Magician's Navigation, and then banish the Astrograph that they special summon or something like that. So, really, really good card. Then I bumped Eye of Timaeus down to 2. I wasn't seeing a lot of back row negation, so I kind of bumped it down to 2 and focused a little bit more on some other cards in the deck. Don't get me wrong, this card is crazy good, but it can be a very bad dead draw at times, so that's why I'm only playing 2. Really good card though. Have to emphasize, you do need at least 2. If you want to play it at 3, go for it. Drop maybe a Dark Magic attack, bump it up to 3 if you want to focus more on the fusion build. If you don't, just play it at 2. It still works. Then I play 2 copies of Spellbook of Knowledge. Spellbook of Knowledge is really good because you can send to the graveyard either 1 spellcaster type monster you control, or a spellbook card from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. Really, really good. It's a good draw power card in the deck. And then speaking of spellbooks, I just play 1 copy of Spellbook of Secrets now. You can interchange which one you want to play. If you want to play, I like playing a ratio of 3 with Spellbook of Knowledge if I'm going to play just 2 knowledge, because it lets me search it, and then regardless I'm going to have something to discard fodder for it. Because usually I'm searching out the knowledge, which everybody should be. But Spellbook of Secrets just lets you add a spellbook card from your deck to your hand. And if you already use both your knowledge and you crank through them, you can always add a prophecy from your magician to hand, which is nice. Then I play Dark Magic Inheritance. 1 copy of that, it's all you really need in this deck. Basically, you banish 2 spell or traps from your graveyard, add a spell or trap from your deck to your hand. They specifically list Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text, except for Dark Magic Inheritance, which is nice. It's great late game. It's not very good early game. That's why we only play 1 copy of it. 1 Monster Reborn for obvious reasons, because it's off the ban list, and I love that. 2 copies of Allure. I find that 3 is not quite as good. If you dropped the Spellbook engine, which again I'm kind of considering, I'm kind of going to playtest it some more before I do. You could do that, but I really wouldn't recommend it. You could bump Allure up to 3 and then maybe get away with it. But then you're going to have to put some more dark monsters in the deck. Then we play the new Called by the Grave. I play 3 copies of this because I'm not a big fan of paying $60 for hand traps. And I like looking at my opponent and being like, hey, I got your negation from a special edition. So you get to target a monster, and if you haven't read this card's crazy. You get to target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do, until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. So you can banish from their graveyard, like they can activate Ash, discard it, activate this, and chain response, and then banish the Ash, and then they can't activate Ash until the next end phase, and negates the current Ash that they activate, which is really good. Really, really good. So you're going to be seeing me play a lot of this. And you can do it with Ghost Ogre, and you can do it with, like, I mean, there's so many cards that you can do it with, and it even disrupts ABCs and stuff like that, because you banish the 1 ABC in their graveyard that they needed, and you go from there. So, I mean, it's crazy good. So why would you not play 3 of this? If you decide that you only want to play 2, I would really recommend at least playing 2 of it if you're not going to play 3. Drop it out for 1, maybe if you want to go Desires route. I'm not a big fan of Desires, but if you want to go that route, you can. But next for the traps, we go in, and there's not as many traps. The spells were the big kind of focus of the deck. We play one Eradicator Epidemic Virus, which is you tribute a dark monster with 2,500 more attack, which is a lot of our monsters in the deck. Either call spells or traps, and your opponent has to destroy all of them that they control and in their hands. And then for the next 3 turns, you check their draws, and if they draw one, you get to pop it. Then I play 2 copies of Solemn Strike. I don't play Warning or Judgment in here. If you want to play Judgment, you can maybe drop the Eradicator for it. But I don't play them in this particular build because the room is really, really tight in here. Then I play 3 copies of Magician's Navigation, one of the all-stars of the deck, in my opinion. You can special summon a Dark Magician from your hand, and then special summon a level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster type monster from your deck. And if you control Dark Magician, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it to negate a spell or trap that's face up on the field, which is really, really good. And then I'm only playing 2 copies of the Magician's, or the Eternal Soul. I had a third one, I thought, but apparently I don't. So I must have taken it out at the last second. I know I have one, but I pulled it out. So just imagine that this is the third Eternal Soul. I just had it just a second ago. So we're going to say that's an Eternal Soul. So let me put that down right there. So that's Eternal Soul right there. So anyways, guys, let's move on to the extra deck really quick, and we'll keep going. Let me take that out. Yeah, totally just had it. I don't know where it went. It's weird. So then for the extra deck, we play 2 copies of Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Dark Magician the Dragon Knight's really, really good. He protects your Eternal Soul from getting destroyed by by card effects, which is really, really good. And he's really, really, really a good card. You want to keep him on the field if you can. He's the main one you go for with Timaeus. You can actually go for Dark Paladin with Timaeus. If your opponent's playing a really spell-heavy deck, he can negate spells, so that's why you play him at 1. I play Amulet Dragon because it can get really big. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon because it burns. I know that ghost one is hard to see, but I love it. Mega Phantom Beast Dracosac, really, really good card. Really need it in this deck because it can help out with a lot of stuff, making tokens and stuff. Big Eye because it steals stuff. Ebon Illusion Magician because if you control a normal monster and you battle with it, you can banish the card that it battled, and it lets you special summon Dark Magicians from deck. Ebon High Magician, I normally don't make this. I usually make Illusion. He's there if you need him. Galaxy Tomahawk, which I see getting banned soon. I really see this card getting banned, which is going to change a lot of my level 7 decks. You make this, and then it lets you go for like almost instant Boral load. Really, really crazy easy. Oh, hey, there's the other Eternal Soul. It was back there with my extra deck. So, excuse me, play 3 Eternal Soul. Always play 3. I accidentally picked it up, I guess, when I was messing with the extra deck and the stuff. So, anyways, that's fine. We play 3 Eternal Soul. Just remember that. Then we play 1 Underclock Talker. This card just requires 2 effect monsters, but you have to remember that it does take 2 effect monsters to make this. Then I play a Proxy Dragon. You use the tokens to make that. Then Decode Talker, Saryujin, which I'm still proxying because I don't have one yet, and a Borreload. The Saryujin can really help out if you have like kind of a bricky hand, but you don't really get that many bricky hands in here because there's so much draw power. The only thing that I would consider maybe putting in here is maybe some Link Spiders. If I could find the room for 2 Link Spiders, I might drop Amulet Dragon and maybe Ebon High Magician. I know that sounds crazy, but maybe these 2 and put 2 Link Spiders in here. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this deck down in the comments down below. Sorry for the mix-up with the Eternal Soul, but we do play 3 copies of it. Again, play 3 of this. This card is crazy good. It lets you special summon a Dark Magician, which is really, really nuts. But anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think down in the description below or the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to check out the Patreon and become a part of the notification squad. See you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.